Live from Deathray Studios in the sunny West Valley of Phoenix, it's Late Night with the Davey. Appearing on tonight's show, Jason from BACKTRACK Cinema. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Davey Deathray. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here, back for another edition of Late Night with the Davey. I hope you guys are doing well. I know there's a whole bunch of awesome streams going on right now, so really appreciate you guys for kicking it here with us. I'm super pumped to have a chat here with our guest later on. And but yeah, guys, there's a pinned comment there in the chat. Let us know what your favorite 80s movies are, especially, you know, our guest tonight, Jason from BACKTRACK Cinema, is the connoisseur of the 80s action flick. So if there's specifically speaking, an 80s action flick that stands out to you, let us know in the comments below. And yeah, we want you guys to be able to join the discussion. So I'm going to say what's up to everybody hanging out here in the chat, and then we'll get our guest going here momentarily after. So let me see. I do see, holy cow, Mr. Happy Sanjo became a member once again. Koi was there from the very beginning. Thank you so much for purchasing that membership. And it looks like, Koi, it looks like you purchased a membership for somebody else. Tommy G76 was gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Koi. Really appreciate it. Great to see you back. It seems like it's been, you know, weeks since we've seen you. Hope everything's going okay. And looking forward to catching up with you, man. And always a pleasure to see you jumping in here on the chat. So let me just say what's up to everyone else we've got kicking here. Lamontre Gillard first in the chat to say what's up. Hope you're having a great night. King Matthew III says my favorite series from the 80s has to be the original Rambo trilogy, Terminator 1, and RoboCop. I also really enjoyed Tango and Cash. Kurt Russell and Sly Stallone was a great pairing. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen Tango and Cash. I think I saw that on VHS when it came out. I don't know if I've seen it since then, King Matthew III, but welcome on in. We've got Chester Franklin Jr. How you doing, Chester? We got our guy Jason from BACKTRACK Cinema hanging out in the green room, as it were. We got Paula Fitzhenry. What's happening, Paula? So good to see you as always. Gory Tiger, how you doing, Gory? Always great to see you. We got Timothy Wistard. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Timothy. I think this is your first time jumping into the chat, so hopefully I got your name right one of those times. And welcome. You are kicking it with the Death Squad. Everybody make Timothy feel very welcome here. We've got Leanna Bevy Rage in the house, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. Hope you are doing great, Leanna. Yeah, great Wednesday so far. Everything all good over here. Was out at the Diamondbacks-Orioles game last night, so it was a bit of a late night. So today's been relatively chill, but I'm ready to chit-chat about a little 80s movies with you guys, so looking forward to it. We got Aaron Click. What's happening, Aaron? So good to see you as always. One of our great channel members, Dean Renner. What's happening, Dean? Always a pleasure to see you as well. We got Melanie from Screen Queen Reviews. I want to put those first two words together. So great to see you, Melanie. Guys, Melanie has a really cool video on her channel that she just dropped the other day where she discusses like the final girls that weren't, so to speak. So like the actresses in these films, in these horror films that we love so much that just, you know, didn't make it to the very end, but should have been a final girl. So that's a fun topic. Maybe we'll have to have Melanie on the show and chit chat about that a little bit sometimes. That could be a damn fun time right there. I'm going to go ahead and star that message from you, Chester, where you're talking about Escape from New York. That'll be a good one to chat about here. Let's see here. Timothy's thinking about it. So Timothy, just let us know once you figure out an 80s, favorite 80s movie or favorite 80s action movie, just let us know. We got Matt Arnett in the house. What's happening, Matt? So great to see ya. Jared Arnold, one of our great channel members, popping in. How you doing, Jared? We got Prince hanging out as well. Says the Asian action assassin. Ooh, that's some good alliteration right there. Has arrived, y'all. Black Rain and Tango and Cash. All right, so we got some Tango and Cash love. We got Sergeant Shitty Pickle. Here's Shitty. What's happening, Shitty? Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. Who else do we have? We have our original Death Squad mod and channel member, Jamie Hart, jumping in. How are you doing, Jamie? Hope all is well. Guys, tonight, especially if you're new, Timothy, I'm guessing you're new, unless this is just your first time actually chiming in the chat. You'll find that Jamie has seen probably all these movies we're going to talk about. She's probably seen them in the theater. So let's see if she can be 100% tonight on that one. We got, let's see here. Happy Sanjo, a newly, renewed membership, Koi popping in to say, I was dead from the world for a few weeks, but I'm back and better than ever. Well, hey, man. I totally understand what that can be like. Sometimes you just need a break from it all. So happy to see you back, my brother. Let's see here. Gonna star that chat from you, Matt, talking about those 80s flicks, of course. And from you, Aaron, heck yeah. Let's see here. Just don't want to miss out any of those. Yep, there she is. She must have said that even before I said it, or even before I saw it here. I'm going to save that for Timothy. Okay, cool. This is great, guys. You guys are awesome. Chiming in on your favorite 80s flicks. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. We got Denise Wheat, one of our great channel members, jumping in. How are you doing, Denise? So awesome to see ya. Oh, I've got another 80s flick from Leanna. That's a good one here. Let's see. I think that might be... I hate it when my pickle is shitty. It means someone didn't clean up / prep very well. I'm a big pickle fan. Are you guys pickle fans? I really like eating the Clausen Spears. I really like those. There's something about the saltiness of them. They're just so damn good. We got Herbert Geddes in the chat. What's happening, Herbert? Always a pleasure to see you. Adrian James, how are you doing, Adrian? Always fun having you in the chat. And let's see here. Just make sure. I don't think I missed anyone. Cool. I think we're all ready to be rocking and rolling here, guys. So, yeah, tonight we're talking 80s flicks. We're going to spend some time talking about some 80s action movies. And Melanie says, I feel like I don't watch enough action movies. I need to start. Well, the 80s is the decade to dive into for that one. Absolutely. It was the heyday for sure. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we still have them now. We'll get into that with Jason. We'll see what he thinks. Since he is the connoisseur, if he thinks that we need a revival to that style, if it's something we're always getting, we're just not paying attention to it, we'll dive into all of that. We got Louis Tango in the chat. What's happening, Louis? So good to see ya. And I'm going to star that one from you, Dean. All right, guys. So, our guest from BACKTRACK Cinema. This guy, check his channel out. It's a total nostalgia drip. Always checking out. Going back to the past to celebrate the movies and films that we all love. I've got links down in the description below if you've not yet subbed down there to BACKTRACK Cinema. I think if I remember correctly, sitting somewhere around like 13.3 thousand subscribers. So doing pretty well for himself. We have got Jason from BACKTRACK Cinema. Everybody put your hands together and welcome our lovely guest. How are you doing tonight, Jason?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me on. I'm a big fan of yours. Love your live shows. I love the community. It's just amazing. Amazing to be on late night with the Davey. It is an honor. It really is. It really is an honor to be on with you, man. It's great.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's we've got a fun group here. I mean, you know how awesome the community is. Yeah, we always I dig that whole late night on a Wednesday. It seems like maybe it's become the it spot because I know I think Sledgehammer Horror, they're watching Exorcist 3. And then I think Matt Facci with Mel from My Killer Podcast, they're watching Final Destination 3. So it seems like people have kind of caught on that Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, that's a good time to go live. But why don't you tell us a little bit about, what made you want to start a YouTube channel? What keeps you going, and what people can expect to find if they're new to what you do over there at BACKTRACK Cinema.
Well, yeah, man, I mean, I've actually been in the game for about 5 years now. I rebranded into BACKTRACK Cinema, got rid of the old channel. So I actually started in 2020 under the J-Man's Movie Cave. Everyone called me the J-Man, like kind of thing. It's right, and I have no problem with that. So that lasted about 2 years, and some personal stuff, burnout hit really hard. Family stuff going on. I tell my whole story on the Rocky Files podcast as they had me on. So if you ever want to see my personal story, it's on there. But yeah, then I rebranded. I came back after a few months, rebranded into BACKTRACK Cinema. Oh, it had to be, I guess it is 2022 of November. And so we're coming up on 3 years now in November of my channel and everything like that. And I learned a lot from the old channel. The old channel kind of got dead. It just stopped getting views, like literally stopped. And so I said, okay, there's something wrong here. So, but I was talking music. I was doing everything. It was like a junk drawer. It was just a bit. So I said, so let's focus. Let's go back to the past for the most part. And let's has to do with a franchise that started in the past. And like I said, I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna try. I love the action genre. I'm gonna focus on action. Everyone's doing horror, and I commend you all for that. I mean, but I was the type of person that I just don't want to talk horror. So I thought, let's do 30% horror, 70% action, and see where that goes. So I started off with the Charles Bronson reviews and the Dirty Harry series, and it just ignited kind of. I started getting traction, and I got my ups and downs like everyone else. I haven't really done the live shows. Stopped in November because I'm up in Canada. I'm Canadian, and I got no heat going into this room. So doing a 2-hour stream, I'd be freezing down here. So, but I do promise my live shows are coming back in May with yours truly. Davey will be coming on the show, everyone, on my channel for some Friday the 13th watch party. So I will be back with the live streams, guys, if you follow me. And yeah, that's basically how it all started. I got inspired by Cody Leach was the first guy I ever really followed.
Cody's great, yeah.
He brought me to Drum Dums, and then Brian Lomax and all these guys. I came up with Matt Facci, me, Chris Snyder, all these guys who were starting channels 5 years ago. We all kind of came up. We kind of went our own little ways and everything. I still try to get out to everyone's channels and give them likes and all that. I'm a big community builder. Even if I don't watch your stuff, I'm liking the streams all the time. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm a pretty hard worker. So I'm someone who won't give up. So like I'll keep the grind going, but
yeah,
you gotta have your breaks in there too, because I definitely know what burnout is on YouTube, and it can leave you out of the game forever.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it can just feel like, I've been going through some pretty significant life changes lately, and it's been like, there are just times where it's like, oh my gosh, I feel paralyzed. Like, I know I need to do something. I just don't know what to do, and I'm like, I don't know if that's just part of everything I'm going through, or if that's some of that burnout or what have you. But yeah, it is, just like any kind of passion that you have, it's always good to make sure that you're being well measured about it. And yeah, just not exhausting yourself. Because there's so much fun to be had here. And I'm the same way. Like, most of the time when YouTube is my, most used streaming platform. Like, I'm on YouTube more than I do anything else. So same kind of thing about jumping around to people's streams and saying what's up and hanging out for a bit. And I would imagine that some of the great people we have here in the chat, they might be doing a little bit of that stream hopping, which is always fun to do, to just like be able to interact with everyone. Where in Canada are you about?
I'm just about 45 minutes east of Toronto. So I'm in Ontario.
Okay.
I'm in Ontario. And
all right.
yeah, so it's you know, I have a full-time job. I have
Yeah.
you know, wife and 3 kids. My oldest is 16. My
Oh
youngest
wow,
is
congrats.
my youngest is 10. So, you know, they're getting older. They're getting
Yeah.
older, and it's leaving me a little bit more time to do this kind of stuff.
Hmm.
I'm very much an introvert, so going out into social situations is not for me. It takes a lot out of me. So a lot of my
Yeah.
friends I made on YouTube, like YouTube, people I met, these people in the chat, the channels, these are my friends. This is
Yeah.
my support line. So yeah, I mean, and I appreciate them all for that, man. I don't care if I have 2 people in the chat. I love them just for being there.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing too, is it's like no matter, I mean, you always want to just give them your best, right? It's all in that performance and in, making that connection for sure. Especially because you're able to connect with people all over the place. It's now do you, even though you don't, get out there too much, do you have, are there any like bigger conventions or anything that you do have your sights set on where you're like, man, when they celebrate this movie or when they do this thing, I definitely have to get there? Do you have
Well,
like, what's your, because Halloween is like my thing. Like I'll make it out to H50 here in a few years. I went out to H45. Do you have a franchise like that for you where you're like, I absolutely am going to buck up and get out there and hang out?
well, I do go to the horror conventions. I haven't been in a while. I'm the end of May up here in Niagara Falls. Robert England's going to be there. He's pricey, but I'm gonna try. Money's tight and everything, but I'm a very Rocky fan, so I would love to go to Philadelphia and celebrate Rocky Day. I think that would be
Yeah.
because there's an official Rocky Day now that happened last year. I believe it was last year, December 3rd, I think. Tim, correct me if I'm wrong there, buddy.
We need you, Tim.
There's actually an official Rocky Day, like to celebrate that, where they take you through all the Rocky run and all this kind of stuff. That'd be
Hell
cool.
yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm a big Friday the 13th fan, so going down to the original camp would be fun to do something like that. But as of
Yeah.
now, I love going to the theater for 40th anniversary movies. Like I saw Nightmare on Elm Street last year. I saw The Terminator on the big screen last year, so that was a lot of fun.
Are you going to do, aren't they doing one? Is it 35 years for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Is that this summer? Are you a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan?
That fucking original film I am, man. I love
Yeah.
that movie. I don't know how I was so excited to see that. I was 11 years old. And I can remember being in the theater, like on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Not opening while they're all coming through the sewer and everything. It still gets me excited when I watch that.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
like, what a great opening that movie was. Like,
Yeah. That first movie, to me, not only does it stand up, I think it's one of those movies that gets better with age. Every time I watch it, I'm like, man, it seems like it's the perfect mix between the cartoon and the comic. It's got the silliness to appeal to the kids that know the cartoon and video games, but then it has that darker edge to it, that as you get older starts to mean something, entirely different. Yeah, that's one of those ones that I've got to check that one out this summer. It's right. Is it this summer when it comes out? And you were right about Rocky Day. It's December 3rd. I checked that out.
That's yeah, it's well, I'm doing June will be 90s action month on my channel, so definitely gonna put that one on the list.
Hell yeah. And we got a $5 super chat from Antonis Andriotis, one of our great channel members. Thank you so much. Antonis says, I finally watched The Monkey last night on demand. Have you seen it? Yes, I have seen it. Man, did you see The Monkey, Jason?
No, unfortunately I don't get out that much to get to the theater. But I'll try and watch it when I can. I'm very behind, guys. That was another reason why I did the channel the way I did it, because I knew I would never be able to watch new movies all the time. Mm-hmm. And more often than not, I'm disappointed.
Yeah,
I can't tell you how many movies people raved about last year in horror that I was like, did we watch the same movie?
That happens to me every now and then too. And like with The Monkey, Antonis, I'll give you my quick review. I like the first third of it. I really enjoyed. I thought it was really funny in a dark way. and then I felt like it just sort of was kind of tonally uneven the rest of the way throughout. You know, kind of typical for a lot of Stephen King adaptations that are put to film. So, you know, I would say maybe I'd give The Monkey like a C+. I did like that one, the lead actor, I can't remember his name, Theo James or whatever. Great voice and a really good performance there. But yeah, I thought The Monkey was fine, but it didn't rock my socks. But thank you so much for the $5 super chat there, Antonis. Really appreciate it. Cool, man. Yeah, let's I guess we might as well just dive in and talk some action flicks. We've got some folks chiming in from the chat here. Chester Franklin was the first, I think he was the first, or at least the first one that I starred here. My favorite 80s action movies are Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China, Terminator, Die Hard, First Blood, and RoboCop. Holy cow. I would imagine, I think a lot of people mention quite a few of those.
That's a hot list, man.
That is a hot list. And so Big Trouble in Little China, I guess it is kind of, it's so tough to pin that movie down. Like, what is the genre? It's like a comedy, adventure, action.
It's got an action. Yeah, it's got one of the best street fight scenes ever.
Oh yeah,
where the two gangs come together. I think that is just like the guy takes the fucking 2x4 and cracks the guy's head open. And Kurt Russell is just this. I don't know he's hilarious. I laughed through the whole freaking movie.
Yeah. No, he is really on one in that movie. That perfect pairing of John Carpenter and Kurt Russell. Same from Escape from New York. Now, I never saw Escape from LA. Is that worth watching? What do you think about that one, Jason?
I thought it was garbage personally, but I'm not I like Escape from New York, but I don't hold it into the high regard a lot of people do. But I really need to rewatch it. I haven't watched it in years and years. But I remember liking the grittiness and the story of the concept and everything. But I've always been a bigger fan of Assault on Precinct 13. I think that's a great little self-contained action film. Yeah, great John Carpenter flick there. Now, out of this list here, which one would you say is your favorite? First Blood.
First Blood?
First Blood. Then Terminator, and that list. They'd be my two favorite out of his list there. Yeah, First Blood. Yeah. First Blood. This is a beautiful little 4K steelbook.
Oh, gorgeous!
Right on the back there. This is I got the whole set. It's the whole Rambo set. Right here actually. So it comes in a little.
Oh man.
This is a 4K steelbook that's just glorious.
That's a beaut. Yeah. So what was that like, you know, how old were you when you saw First Blood? Like, when did that love begin?
I want to say 4 years old. Probably a movie I shouldn't have been watching, and it scared the hell out of me. Because we'd be watching it, and when he's in the jail cell, and he gets cut with a flashback, he thinks they're ready to shave him. Mm-hmm. And just the tearing of the skin, still now you can hear it's like. Anyways, I would run upstairs and be like, "Tell me when it's over, Mom and Dad," like this, and they say it's over, and I'd have to rush back down because he's starting to fight. And, and to me, as a little kid, what resonated the most with First Blood is that I saw a guy being picked on. He was being bullied. Mm-hmm. He was being picked on, and I related to that as a kid in school. Because, you know, I never got like picked on like in a physical way. It was more name calling and stuff like that. And we grew up, Davey, we grew up on a time where teachers didn't do shit about that stuff. You had to basically
everyone kind of put up with it to a certain degree, you know.
So I would go home, put on First Blood, and it's almost like that anger I would have built up would just channel through that movie, and I would get this huge release watching it. And I have a deep love for this movie. So not only is it personal, it's Stallone. It's my favorite. Rocky's my favorite film of all time. Then First Blood. So
there you go.
People who follow me know this. They know this about me. So, but the movie just has this tension the moment he walks into that town and it rapids up, right? You know, whether he gets arrested and then with the music and everything, it's building and building and building till he explodes, and it turns into one giant action sequence from the chasing, climbing up the mountain, diving off the mountain, the forest hunt, all that. And that's some horror elements there too, the forest hunt, if you really want to, you know, take in all that atmosphere and the lightning and everything like that. And then it kind of stops. You're like, what a ride. Like, what a ride, man.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the way, you know, because I know that first movie is just so much more like kind of personal and contained. How do you feel about the way the series went from there? I mean, they really kind of opened it up. It turned into
it really, he was competing with Arnold. So he does Rambo 2, then Commando comes out, and these guys are just flexing their fucking muscles, right? Who can be better? And it turned into an over the top 80s. You didn't regularly recognize the character as much anymore.
Yeah.
Right? But they're fun. I have a blast with Rambo 2. It was my favorite as a kid. Like, I watched that more than anything. But when I became a movie reviewer and when I started doing YouTube, I was like, oh, I see the flaws in this. Right? Even though I love it. I reviewed all the movies too. So, but then he brought it back again with John Rambo. And then Last Blood, I don't like the way it left off, but I did like the movie as just an action movie. But John Rambo was just brutal, dude.
Yeah.
When he's just cutting people in half and showing that this country out there that's been in civil war for 50 years, genocide, and it's like, man. But he almost made it fun too. Like, it wasn't like Saving Private Ryan where it was so much tension that you had to take a break watching it. Like,
yeah.
But Stallone really towed the line in that movie. But yeah, I love Rambo. I love the franchise. It's one of my favorite franchises, especially First Blood. And what's great about First Blood at the end is that the man implodes. He doesn't explode. He implodes on himself and breaks down. It's like, wow, did we just see a game changer?
Yeah.
I mean, we have our hero breaking down. Let's see where that continues. We see that in Lethal Weapon. We show more humanity to Martin Riggs. We see that in Die Hard. John McClane's just this regular guy who fucked up with his wife, and now he's on the phone breaking down with his wife, saying, you know, when he's talking to Al, say, here's the message I want you to send. Instead of these characters who are just raw and tough and they never cry and all that, then we had these kind of characters who were doing this, and I think First Blood deserves the credit for that.
Yeah,
it's one of the first movies to show that humanity in our hero. Even though he went shirtless and he was jacked in Rambo 2 and Unstoppable and all that kind of stuff, you remember where the character came from, and it was a pretty raw movie.
Yeah, there's a vulnerability there for sure. Yeah. You know, and you know, Stallone was kind of on the forefront of, like, I think the Legacy sequel thing is sort of, you know, he kind of kicked that off with like Rocky Balboa, and then you know, coming back with John Rambo. So
he did it right, though. He did it right. Look how he did that movie and how he ended it. And when you get the Halloween, when Halloween did it and everything, and just look how Stallone crafted it. That's the way you do it. You bring this character back. He has a real purpose to do what he's doing, and then he ends it. Like, to me, that's where Rocky really should have ended. It had the perfect
with Rocky
ending.
Balboa.
Yeah, I like Creed. Don't get me wrong. I like Creed 1 and Creed 2. I didn't like Creed 3, but Creed 1 and Creed... I like seeing Rocky again, but really that ending of Rocky Balboa was really good.
Yeah, I remember when that came, I was like, man, this is like this guy, this could be an Academy Award winner here. The shape that he got in was ridiculous too. Yeah, totally crazy. Let's see what else we got here. So we touched up on a little bit of, let's see. We got our Rambo talk and a little bit of our Big Trouble in Little China talk. What about Commando? Commando and Predator. How about let's tackle a little Arnold here, Jason. Now, obviously, Sylvester Stallone's your guy, right? But is Arnold like a 1B to Sylvester Stallone, or is he?
It's actually very. It's close, but it's not close. But Arnold's easily second. Easily second. Easily. In fact, we're doing Arnold month right now on the channel. I just did Last Action Hero. I dropped that
Oh,
Monday.
that
So,
movie is so much damn fun. That's an underappreciated flick right there.
it really is. It really is. If you guys watch my review, you see how much I just geek over that movie because I didn't like it at the time. To me, at the time when I watched it when I was a kid or 14, it
Mhm.
felt like spoofy, and it felt like it was making fun of the people I love and the genre I love. I didn't get it
Sure.
really, right? And
Yeah.
it's before Scream. Everybody, it's doing.
Yes.
So I guess I'm a horror guy too. Like, don't get me wrong, I love horror, but it's not until I started doing YouTube where I don't think I'm as passionate about horror maybe as I thought I was when I met the people I met. I'm like, oh, I mean, all you watch is horror? Like, all? That's it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all over the place too. So I have my blind spots in almost every genre because I watch a little bit of everything. I would say horror and comedy are probably my favorites. But yeah, I mean, with Last Action Hero, that was one where I guess I don't know what it was when I first saw it. It just sort of made sense to me. It kind of clicked. Like I got what they were doing. That it was a bit of that send up. Plus, that soundtrack is unbelievable.
The score too,
know?
not just the songs. The score. The score has this classical stuff laced through it, then a real action kind of score too. John McTiernan, Die Hard, Predator. I mean, I don't think there's him and James Cameron just direct action so well.
Yes, no, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah, speaking of Predator, now we've got, I don't know if you're keeping up on all the crazy news, but I mean, it looks like Predator's primed to come back for what they're doing, an animated show, and they've got another movie coming out. And
oh yeah, I'm following it closely. Badlands is coming out in November from Dan Trachtenberg. I just released actually a Prey review this evening, so I've been going through them. Like, I got a few more reviews, then that series will be. I'm one of my favorite franchises. I love this movie to death, Predator, the original Predator.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you. I think it may be the most rewatchable movie of all time. It's just
okay.
I mean, it's to watch these dudes as a kid. These are the guys I looked up to. I wanted to be like part of this team. I would take my guns out, put my army. I'd go in the woods shooting fucking predators out of the tree and shit. My dad rented this movie every weekend in 1987 when it came out, until he broke down and bought it. Because as you know, VHS tapes were pretty expensive.
Yeah, they were like $90 at some point or whatever. It was absurd.
But yeah, I'm a huge guy on mixing genres together, and I don't think anyone has done it like Predator for a movie like that. I mean, if you watch the movie, it starts off as an over-the-top 80s action, these buff guys, one-liners, taking care of business,
all greased up,
pulling down fucking trees. Then it turns into a slasher movie, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like on its surface. Then you get a little third act survival kind of thing where Arnold takes out the Predator by everything the Predator did to them, he does to him. Puts himself in camouflage, sneaks up on them, all this kind of stuff. And it's such a great design, the Predator. But I just love these.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone. I mean, I know there's a lot of talk out there about toxic masculinity, however you want to interpret that. But this is what kind of man I wanted to be. I wanted to be a jacked up dude when I was a kid and just be like Arnold, man. I just see this.
Yeah.
These guys had charisma, and they just had the way they're walking, and it's just such a. I want to be like that, man. And so I really looked up to the Stallones and the Arnolds and the Chuck Norrises and all these guys. To me, these guys were men.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they're like really great chemistry with the performers, and then also just like you're saying, like really charming performances. I mean, even like even with Arnold in his ridiculously awesome accent, there's still something so charming about his performances in these movies. I think Commando was on that last list that I pulled up. so the one-liners in Commando, like you can really see where maybe some of the inspiration for Arnold's Mr. Freeze comes from there with what stick around is that
Yeah, when he goes stick around. Yeah, but also some heart to Predator too, and that's through Bill Duke's character when Jesse Ventura dies, and he does that music, and he's like, and he's looking at the moon when he's on watch. And he goes, "Here we are again, bro. Same kind of moon, same kind of jungle, just you and me." And he's talking to his dead friend. Whoever got you, I'm gonna cut your name in on. It's just awesome. So there's a little bit of that heart there. In that movie, this camaraderie between these guys, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, like, right? So
how crazy is it that this movie, it's such a relatively small story, something like Predator. Isn't it so wild that, there was maybe like 5 years between the first and the second, something like that, right?
Yep.
Was it like 4 or 5 years? Okay.
years.
And then it just like kind of lies dormant for a while, and then boom, here we are. We've had like more Predator, installments in the last like 15 years than we did in the previous, 25 before that. I mean, that's just it's wild the way that something can sort of take off like that. Just start out as one great movie, and then here we are. Almost 40 years later.
Even with its downs, the Predator franchise. I mean, all in all, I could watch them all except for maybe the Predator, and get entertained by them. And like I love Predator 1, I love Predator 2. AVP's all right. Watched it last night. AVP Requiem, I'm actually a fan of. I mean, if you turn the fucking lights on in the movie, but actually,
turn the brightness all the way up.
The wolf Predator in that is badass. Like, I do dig everything. It's not got the greatest. They focus too much on these towns' characters and everything, but it's not bad. And then you get into Predators. It's all right. Trying to make a decent Predator movie again. They do a fairly good job in that. I don't like everything about it. The Predator's just awful, though. I just don't like all the decision making and how convoluted it is. I didn't like the humor in it. It's a pretty bad movie. Yeah. But Prey was great. Bringing Prey back, I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited about this animated series. I mean, Terminator Zero did a great job with doing it. It was a great series, I thought.
Yeah. Speaking of Terminator, we do have a hot take here from the Oct. It says Terminator 2 from the 90s is better than the Terminator from the 80s. Now, I'm curious to know how you feel about this one. My abbreviated version is I prefer the first Terminator film, and I think T2 is kind of a remake. It's kind of just like they tweaked a couple things, but it's almost beat for beat follows the same kind of arrival of the hero and the villain, and then the hero and the villain like trying to make their way to the target, and then the action scene, and then exposition scene at like the same kind of like flow and dynamics. How do you feel about this hot take here from the Oct?
It's I don't know if it's so much a hot take, because most people like T2 over T1 that I've talked to. So a lot of people do. I wouldn't blame anybody they're both 5-star films for me. They're both A+ or A's in my world, because I use letters. Terminator is my movie. That will always be, and it's a story. It came up with the story first and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think T2 handles a lot of the character stuff a lot better. And the themes, I think it's handling themes quite well. I love Sarah Connor in T2. Like, she's amazing in that freaking movie. Right? And technically, it's a better movie. It's a better action movie. But
the effects.
T1 is scary. It has horror. It has atmosphere. The police station scene. How the whole thing is masked. It's a love story at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's a love story. And when he right at that last shot, when he said, I didn't know why where Reese tells her, I didn't know why John gave you this picture at the time, but I had a picture of you once. And at the end of the movie, where I always wonder what you were thinking, and then the kid takes the picture at the end, she was thinking about him, He goes, I wonder what you were thinking, and she was thinking about him. So it's this love story across time. And it's
it's pretty wild.
Jimmy Cameron, you are the most brilliant fucking guy, I think. And I still think it's his best movie. It may technically not be his best movie, but I think for me, it's his best movie.
Yeah, it's got
Aliens is close.
Yeah, Aliens is a lot of fun. This one's got the original Terminator has so much grit, and like you're saying, there is a lot of heart there. Kyle Reese, like having his nightmares, sleeping in the car and just seeing that apocalyptic future, in his nightmares as the as the construction scene is like being worked on right next to him. I don't think I think that to me, as far as storytelling, that's the best the Terminator ever got.
He's got serious PTSD, and I think that future flashback, it shows that to calm himself down, he pulls the picture out. It's like this. She brings this, even though he doesn't know her yet. It's like almost like he fell in love with this legend, and it just calms him down. And so when he meets her, he's actuated with her, and such an intense performance by Michael Biehn, right? Linda Hamilton, she shows such great vulnerability in the original Terminator. Yeah, and in the second one, you see that when she breaks down because she was going to kill Dyson, and she's turning into this Terminator, and she's like, and they rehash that kind of line. But you're not wrong, Davey. Like, there's a lot of rehashing of what they're doing. It's just that they he, like you said, he tweaks some things. Yeah, but all at the end of the day, I still love it. Oh my god,
yeah, it's so good. It's a technical marvel. Have you ever seen that director's cut?
Yeah,
that has like the.
I like the dream sequence with Reese.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I would say I think the theatrical cut's still the better cut.
Yeah. There is another really cool scene though, I think, where they're basically asking the Terminator like if they restart his system, if he he can like learn more and become a little more human. And also like John basically telling Sarah like, hey, you need to listen to me because I'm supposed to be the leader, right? So at some point you got to start listening to my advice or whatever, which is a cool character moment.
It is a good scene, and you do see John Connor take charge of the whole situation. Like he's telling all the adults what to, like when they him and Dyson grab the arm and the chip, and the guy's like, well, you need to get the key, and he just smashes it. He goes, we got them by the fucking balls now, don't we? Like that. He's 10. He's 10 years old. Yeah. If you do the math, it's 80. He'd be born in 85. This is 94. He's like 9-10 years old. Yeah. He's taking control of these situations. It's brilliant.
And a really good performance by Edward Furlong, who really didn't, I don't know, like, I just watched Brain Scan for the first time a couple weeks ago, and I was kind of let down by his performance there. So part of me is sort of like, man, was this guy did he just have it when he was a kid because he didn't know there was no fear in him, and you just sort of lose it the older you get? But yeah, such a great performance by Edward Furlong.
Absolutely, man.
All right, so we got our Terminator talk out of the way. How do you feel about the salvation and everything? I mean, I guess like you just want to let me know how you feel about the rest of the series really quick.
Okay, really quick. T3 is dog shit. I don't ever want to put it on again, but I know I'm gonna have to in the future for review. Yeah, I hate it. It feels like a spoof to me, and that's why I hate it. There's making fun of the thing. Salvation, I do actually quite like. Mm-hmm. I think it was every time you watch, it's forgettable in a way. But whenever you sit down and watch it, you're like, this is a great action movie. Yeah. Like, the action set pieces are great. I like the way they did the practical Terminators and a lot of it. I thought it was really good. It's just, and then Genesis is basically the biggest piece of fan fiction. It's like a fan film, but the most expensive fan film ever made. And honestly, I don't mind Dark Fate because at the end of the day, it's about Sarah. It's always been Sarah Connor's story. And they've shit on John Connor so many times up to this point that really, are we really that upset? Yeah, but I just think they did it too fast. Mm-hmm. Like if you're gonna kill John and you're gonna tell this story about Sarah's grieving process and how she has no purpose and everything, Well, at least have it like a 15-minute intro where they're actually fighting back, and there's this,
Sure.
and maybe but Linda Hamilton's performance, I just fell in love with. I quite like Grace. I don't like everything about the movie. I didn't really like the Terminator coming out of himself and combining. It just didn't make fucking sense to me. I mean,
Yeah, he's like two different entities or whatever.
You don't get better than the T-1000, and Danny was just forgettable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing with Dark Fate is like, well, wait, we've been told this whole time that like it's John Connor, but it seems like multiple times they're just like, but don't worry about that. Like, well,
let me give your chat and everyone some food for thought.
Okay.
Think of a Terminator movie in the future. John Connor has a base, or he has several bases, right? And there's a Terminator in there, but you don't know who the Terminator is. Think of like the dog from The Thing comes in, and it's all done through a Friday the 13th POV.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me that wouldn't be scary in the right hands.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially if you had because in the original Terminator movie, they do show that they had, like, dogs could sort of sense that there were Terminators when they tried to infiltrate, right?
Right. What if there are Terminators, though? There are Terminators, if you read some lore about it, who can turn the dogs on their owners. They have an ability to throw the scent off, and then you can always have a Cujo thing.
And it could be, even if you had a more sophisticated Terminator, maybe they could pass the smell test, as it were, right? Because that was just the original T-800, I think. It was a original model that the dog sniffs out. So yeah, I mean, that would be wild for them to actually try to pull something like that off. Yeah, I think that's the way to go, is to try to stop retconning everything and put those Terminator movies in the future, you know?
Yeah, and
like the way that Salvation did it.
Make it scary, though.
Yeah.
Like, let's have action in there, but really scare us again with this thing.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the first like 20, 30 minutes of the original Terminators got like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's basically a slasher. And it's like, well, I think that one part of it kind of feels like a slasher. I don't think the whole movie. Yeah.
It's horror, though. I won't take that away. Like, well, I mean, when that thing's like zombified Terminator and it's in half and it's still chasing her, I mean, that's some scary image.
Oh yeah, no, that's great stuff. Yeah, and of course, I mean, the beginning definitely has like big time John Carpenter vibes for sure. You know, the synth score and being shot in South Pass and everything like that.
It was a game changer, Terminator. For the little budget it had too, like for its time, at like 6 million. There was a lot of like not having permits. Let's just shoot here, and all that stuff. Like you say what you want about James Cameron, he knows how to make a fucking movie, and that's undeniable.
Yeah, and I think one of the great things that he, has done, and not just him, but the people that he brings on to work on his films, is he's always somebody that's been pushing the technology in movies.
Oh,
so he makes a movie and it's making The Abyss, and that's pretty much where they created Photoshop, and then they used that in Terminator 2, and then everything. Even Titanic was even though that's a straight up love story, pretty much, it was a technical marvel at the time. And of course, I mean, Avatar is wild. That is like the most wild thing. But yeah, I mean, Sergeant Shitty Pickle, that's exactly what Jason's saying there. Take it back to its roots in horror, like really, really try to scare us. And, I don't know, Genesis, I thought, like, I'm kind of I feel the same way about Genesis as you feel about Dark Fate, where I'm just sort of like, I didn't really hate it, but the whole turning John Connor into a Terminator.
They did practical in that the whole intro and everything, even it's polished, it's too polished of a world. But a lot of those Terminators are all practical. They made a lot of stuff for that movie. But I was just really disappointed in Emilia Clarke as Sarah Connor, and I was
not feeling it.
I'm not a Jay Courtney, is it? I'm not.
Yeah, Jai Courtney or whatever.
Jai Courtney, no charisma to me. No.
Yeah, he doesn't look like, they couldn't find a guy that looked like Michael Biehn. Like,
the guy's fucking jacked. Michael Biehn was a skinny. Skinny muscular. He was a small, like he was from a world where you're starving. And I go,
he was
this guy looks
stringy.
like this guy freaking comes out in the Reese where like he's jacked or something.
Yeah, and he's like way taller, and then Amelia Clark. I mean, whatever. Like, I guess you could say splitting hairs, but Amelia Clark's way shorter than Linda Hamilton, or at least it seems like it. It seems like kind of an odd casting there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But man, Michael Biehn, like, why was that guy not like one of the biggest actors in the 80s? Like, how? Because it's, to me, I mean, he's amazing in Aliens. He's, you know, I would say even better in the Terminator, you know, a couple years prior. But I also think, I'm like, this guy has like leading man kind of looks and chops, and I'm just like, what the hell happened here?
He went more, I think it was he wanted this to do interesting work, and he went for more character actor work, like in Tombstone as the bad guys, Johnny Ringo, right? He's fantastic in that. And there's all these other stuff all this other stuff he's done. He's even in The Rock, you know, remember, as he leads the commandos in to take out
I've only seen that. I've only seen that when it came out, like on DVD or whatever.
Yeah, I know it's not fantastic or anything, but he's in it. He's a guy you can put in any military, if he plays a commando. He was in Navy SEALs with Charlie Sheen, and who else was in that? I forget the name, but he was in Navy SEALs anyway. He was good in that. He's done a lot of interesting work over the years, though, and yeah, he could have been right up there with Stallone and Arnold. Personally, I think he had that.
Yeah.
I think he had it all.
Yeah, and I guess maybe I am just underselling the fact that, I mean, it seems like just more bit roles and less, you know, in Aliens and the Terminator, he's one of the, you know, the big time main players there. But and Tombstone, that's another one I need to revisit. I really dig that one. I'm not even the biggest Western guy, but that's like one of those that
my favorite
really works for me. Yeah,
my favorite Western. It's on the back wall there somewhere. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yep. Boom.
Great movie.
VHS. Love it. Now, do you still have a VCR? Do you still watch them on VHS?
Yeah, my laptop is sitting on my VCR. My laptop right now.
Perfect.
Yeah, I try to watch. Sometimes on watch-alongs when I'm a guest. I'll pop it on VHS to make it easy on me. And it depends. Like, if you haven't lived unless you watched Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street on VHS. It's
something
dark.
about the grain,
grain, and you don't see things that you're. I mean, the Blu-rays enhance everything. Watch some of that horror on VHS, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think sometimes the better the fidelity gets, you see way too much. Like the effects don't hold up as much. That's why, you know, I'm all for, like, I don't know. Maybe I'll start collecting 4Ks, but I'm also thinking maybe Blu-ray is about as high as I go.
Unless it's a set like that Rambo set I showed you, it is. Yeah, I'll put those on my PlayStation 5. I'll watch them on there.
Yeah.
But you know, when I have time, I sometimes when I edit, I like to have a VHS on in the background.
Hell yeah! Yeah, it's like. It's like the vinyl version of watching a movie. You know, I love listening to music on vinyl, and VHS is kind of like that, you know.
All my records are over there.
Oh, sweet. Hell yeah. That's the thing that I'm most passionate about as far as physical media collecting goes. I'm a huge music nerd.
Yeah,
so,
I love my records. I got some Friday the 13th. I got some Jason Lives. I got some the John Carpenter score. I got my Queen and my AC/DC, and
there you go.
Right?
Yeah, John Carpenter, that might be one of the artists that I have the most of. Because I've got like all the new Halloween scores, but then I have his Lost Themes, like the 4 Lost Themes records.
Yeah.
Those records are awesome. Let me see. I'm just going to jump into the chat really quick. Just wanted to say what's up to Brett from Good Real Hunting. Hope you're doing well, Brett. I saw that you jumped in. Sean Laughlin, what's happening? He says,
Sean.
What up? Oh shit, we talking Terminator. Dean chimes in and says A24 wants to remake Bloodsport. Yeah, did you see that news? Are you a Bloodsport fan? Are you a Jean-Claude guy? Look at this. I love that you have all these examples just right next to you. Boom. That's beautiful.
Video Tasties gave me that. Gareth from Video Tasties. He sent me this. So
That's
this
gorgeous.
this is a beautiful jacket.
Mhm.
Oh, I love Bloodsport. Hell yeah.
Now, what do you think
Hey,
about them remaking it?
I'm down for it. I'd be down for I don't know if it will have the charm or the. I guess that's the way to say. I don't know if it'll have the charm, but can we
Mhm.
get a real serious Bloodsport movie? I don't. Maybe
Yeah.
A24. As long as they don't go too artsy with it and too like
Yeah.
pretentious with it. Like, come on, what are we talking about here? We're talking about a
Yeah.
fucking fight movie. Let's make a
Yeah.
fight movie. Like, there's nothing wrong. Add more character development into it. There's
Mhm.
a good friendship there between Ray Jackson and Frank Dukes, right? So
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of lies and things about Frank Dukes and stuff like that. I don't think he is who he says he is. I mean, there's a lot of
Mhm.
I can't go into the whole story. You'd have to read up on yourself, but
Yeah. No, I think I've read it. I think I've heard about that or some sort of
apparently he's a
podcast or
fraud.
something.
Apparently
Yeah.
he's a fraud, but take his story and do something cool with it. Like
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. But having this underground tournament is pretty awesome. But the score to Bloodsport's awesome. The fight scenes are awesome.
Mhm.
Like I just love that movie. I just have a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it seems like, A24, I know, let's see here. I don't think it doesn't look like Cody's too pumped on it, but A24, it seems like they are trying to stretch their wings a little bit and, maybe if not doing everything artsy fartsy.
I will give anything a chance. I think it's really unfair to a movie unless you've seen it. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many movies did people tell me to stay away from? And I was like,
Sure.
what was wrong with that movie?
Yeah.
That was a good one. I love that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I can't give. There's loads of examples, but
It's tough until you actually can see like a trailer or see what it's actually gonna,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you need some sort of inkling, right? It's
like
so
it's like we're all. I know. Well, I am being a big Friday fan. I'm so jacked about the casting of Linda Cardellini, but what is
Yeah.
this going to be?
Sure.
I'm sitting there at night going through my head. Oh my god, Friday the 13th, part 2 to 4 happened in one night.
Yeah.
Could we see that run out in one season? Eventually, like when they bring Jason into it,
Yeah.
right? That to me, I'm just like, oh my god, we could introduce Chris, we could introduce Ginny, Tommy, and maybe somehow in this version they could all come back.
Mhm.
Like to finally put them out. That's just where my mind's going, right? That's where my brain's going. We can
Yeah.
recharacterize all these characters that we love, and if
Yeah.
they do it right, I think this thing's gonna be something special.
Oh, for sure. I talk about it quite a bit on my channel because with all the false starts and everything that have been going on with that show, I just, I think last fall I was like, what the hell's going on with this thing? But now that, we've got that casting news, it's like, oh, right. So something real is happening here. We
That's
should have a
obviously
trailer.
That's concrete. I think.
Yeah.
I think next you're gonna start seeing other casting come
Mhm.
in. I just don't understand. I thought they couldn't use Jason, so I don't know how they're.
I think they can use little kid Jason. I don't know I think Sean S. Cunningham has the rights for hockey mask Jason. So I think because Victor Miller is part of the TV show, so since he wrote Jason as a little boy, they can use that version of Jason. So we'll probably see Jason die at some point in this first season, I would imagine.
Well, what I think I was watching your interview with DeSanti, Vinny DeSanti, and he was saying something about how the first season was going to be like. Well, I think Brian Fuller's idea was the first season was going to be Pamela, and then it was going to shift to Jason for season 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, how do you do that? Is this going to be in the sack, or can they create a new hockey mask? Like, can they create a whole new look and they're allowed to get away with it? I don't know.
Or they're banking on the fact that they can maybe figure out the rights by the time that happens.
Right. Right. But yeah, I'm a big Friday fan too. So, I'm really excited. I don't have a lot of negative energy. Honestly, I don't. I'm just like, I'm starving here. I am starving for Jason. Right.
Yes.
Let's just let's do this. Give us more. I'm hoping something big drops on June 13th. At least something. I know they won't be in production yet, but maybe like, okay, here's a little tease. This something. Give us something.
We better get a tease, because there's been a couple Friday the 13th since they changed producers, and they haven't even put out like, hey, here's a logo. We haven't even gotten anything like that. Yeah. So they got to put together something for us for Jason's birthday. It's got to be coming down the pike. How about Prince chimed in here, said thought on the Liam Neeson Naked Gun reboot. Are you a comedy fan?
I'm a comedy fan, but I'm not a spoof fan. I'm not a Hot Shots fan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What is it about spoofs that don't work for you, you think?
Because you're making fun of things that I don't want to see made fun of. Like,
you don't think it comes from a place of love?
It does, but I don't know what it is, man. Spaceballs is the only one I really generally like.
Yeah, I love that one.
I don't know why. I don't like scary movies. I'm not. I think Airplane's fun.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it in years. But yeah, I've never really I'm not a spoofy guy. When I see slapstick stuff, I'm not into it. Like.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I'm at least the original Naked Gun, I don't remember them having too many references to like other movies. I think they did in the sequels a little bit more. But yeah, Hot Shots certainly.
Ones. Naked Gun definitely is the better. Is the better one, I think. And Liam, I haven't seen the trailer, but Liam Neeson's a talented guy. I'm sure people who are fans of that will like it.
Yeah.
But I'm not really the biggest fan of I'm a John Candy guy. I like
I
like the Police Academy 1. I like John Candy. I like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I like John Hughes. I like that kind of stuff from the 80s anyway. Jim Carrey's a lot of fun from the 90s, and that's my kind of, my I don't know if you've seen One Crazy Summer. That was a hoot back in the 80s. I love that movie as a kid.
And
I just watched Porky's for the first time about a year ago.
Oh, Porky's is great.
My wife loved it. When Kim Cattrall is in the locker, she's howling like a wolf. We were on the floor. And
Lassie.
My wife's a woman. She thought it was freaking hilarious.
Oh yeah. No, that movie's hilarious, and it does have heart. There's there's some more serious stuff being, handled in that film as well. It's got all that wild, 60s sexual charge, but then it's also got something to say about, like racism and beating up on your kids, and it's a really interesting, like, there's some serious stuff going on there. Again, that movie is just one of those movies that just sort of has like a really fun feel, because the sequels are rough, but that first one, it just has this, like, they captured this magic.
There's times I was dying, man. I was like, I can't believe I probably wasn't allowed to watch it. Maybe that, and it just kind of thing. I always heard of it. I knew what it was, but all the comedies I grew up with were like Stripes and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Like John Candy was a huge staple in our house. Always.
What about
movie?
Are you a fan of Who's Harry Crumb?
Yeah, it's not one of his best, but it's fun.
That movie, that was one that I think I watched, like, when I was a kid. I watched that one a lot. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was Shawnee Smith in there. I'm always interested, like, because it's weird with the spoof movies, like those scary movies, they do nothing for me. Like,
they do nothing for me, man.
Nothing. And I grew up with like Airplane, Naked Gun, Hot Shots, like Top Secret, like loving all that stuff. But when I saw the scary movies, I was like, these are just like gross and dumb. Like, they're not even clever, like, I don't know. Impress me with some sort of smarts here,
And there's nothing wrong with that kind of humor, like even like rude, crude humor. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it depends how it's executed. Like Police Academy, right?
Yeah.
Where Mahoney's under the podium, and the guy's getting, and Lasar's getting ahead for the girl there.
Yeah.
And then when he comes out, he sees Mahoney. He doesn't see the girl.
Yeah. That smile that Gutenberg gives him, that little nod.
I love it. I love it. See, that movie holds up to me. I still laugh at it.
Yeah.
At least the first one, anyway.
Yeah, that first one's great. Yeah, and I think that too. It's like with like the rude humor, the rude and crude stuff. It's like as long as it's well measured. I felt like in the Scary Movie, at least in that first one, I was like, man, this is just like, here's a joke about a giant bush and then blowing a big load, and I'm just like this is this is how creative we're being here. Like, come on,
my wife. Like my wife, a lot of the modern comedy she doesn't always like is it's like, this is just disrespectful and crude and rude.
Sure.
There's no cleverness to it.
Yeah, it's just shocking.
Like, yeah, it's just, and like, man, she almost, when we watched Superbad, she said this is when the girl has the period over her pants. She goes, "This is just fucking disgusting. This is not even funny." Like.
See, I liked Superbad. Well, at least I really liked it when it came out. Yeah,
that's
I really liked it
everyone.
when it came out. But that movie is pretty. They are pretty crude in that one for sure.
Yeah. You got to toe the line, right? Like where's the show? Like show me some cleverness.
Yes.
In your comedies, right? I know, like, there's a lot of rude stuff too that we all laugh at, but I don't know. I was never really into the Seth Rogen movies or the they're okay. Like, they're okay. Like,
yeah.
Like I Love You, Man, I thought was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Or more modern comedy. I thought that was good, about a dude who just can't find friends, right? I think that's kind of funny.
Even something like, like Pineapple Express, a good old fashioned stoner comedy that doesn't really dive into the crude and rude stuff. It really is just about like peppering it in there in the right amount. You have to. It's like it's like when you're watching a horror movie or something like that. A jump scare isn't by definition dumb. If you earn your jump scare and you only have like that one or two that are smartly placed, it's
there's
it can really work.
There's too much of them now.
There are movies that just rely on them. That's all they do.
I remember when James Wan was doing The Conjuring, which I really like. I love James Wan, love The Conjuring. And when he had the script, like when people who wrote it, he was like, gone. Nope, you have too much jump scares in here. You have too much. And he goes, well, that's going to make it scary. And he goes, no, what will make it scary is we only have one or two.
Yeah.
That people won't expect that. And that's how he did. Well, obviously, you've seen it. That's how he crafted it. That's why it works so well, right?
Yeah.
We got to ratchet tension up. That's what you got to do.
Yep. Yeah, I feel the same way when it comes to those really gross jokes or, a fart joke. It's like you'd have to place it nicely.
One of the best jump scares you'll ever see is from David Lynch in Mulholland Drive, where the old woman comes out of the dumpster around the corner of the...
I have not seen Mulholland Drive. Jamie Hart is going to eviscerate me.
Don't worry, I didn't ruin it for you. Just
I don't know when it's coming. Yeah.
But Mulholland Drive is a fucking masterpiece. It's great, and it has horror elements in it. It's a real trippy movie, real psychological, like all his stuff. And I'm pretty new to the guy myself. Like I've seen Wild at Heart. I've seen which is a great movie. I've seen Mulholland Drive. I've seen Blue Velvet's another great one.
Mm-hmm. That's one I have seen there. Yeah, Blue Velvet. All of his stuff has got that trippy kind of surrealist kind of vibe to it, huh?
Yeah, I haven't seen everything yet, but I do like him because he's so unique. He makes his own movie. He's got his own stamp. Which when I think about the '80s too, it's like every director had their own creativity. No one was like the next one. Spielberg was himself. James Cameron was himself. Richard Donner was himself. It goes on and on. I mean,
yeah. Well, speaking of Richard Donner and '80s action flicks, you had mentioned Lethal Weapon earlier. Are you a big Lethal Weapon guy?
Oh yeah, I love Lethal Weapon. I like all that. It's a guarantee that if it's '80s action, I'm gonna like it. I like the first one. I know a lot of people love the second one the most, but I like the first one because how serious it is, and I'm really invested in Riggs' story. And how he's this broken and he's unbroken at the end of it, right? He's healing by the end of the movie. Being taken in by this family and everything like that. And the action's great in it. You know what I mean? It's just a good story. Got a great story. It's got a great soundtrack, which I have on vinyl, by the way. It's sounds great.
Was
Yeah,
it Eric Clapton that did a lot of that stuff on
yeah,
the
he
original,
did a lot of
all the
blues
guitar stuff, and then they got that
exactly.
sexy 80s sax, as I like to call
Right.
it.
You know what I mean? It's just freaking.
Yeah,
It's got this nice ad lib blues to it, and yeah, it's a great movie, man. I love Lethal Weapon. I
that's
actually
my
hot take. I actually think it's a better movie than Die Hard, as far as a story and movie. But Die Hard's the better action film.
sure.
I'll say
Yeah,
that.
I agree with that. Yeah, there's not as much character development in Die Hard. It's just his wife takes him back just because he saved everyone, seemingly. There's like not really a lesson learned there, so to speak. But yes, the action is amazing in Die Hard. And both Christmas movies, or at least I like to say, if you're going to call Die Hard a Christmas movie, then you've got to call Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie as well.
Yeah, it's love it. I love the classics. Hey, y'all.
What's happening, Eli? So great to see you, one of our amazing channel members and Death Squad mods. Man, I couldn't let the conversation go without talking about one of my favorite action films of all time, and another movie that I go back and watch about once a year that just seemingly gets better and better every time I watch it, and that is RoboCop, the original RoboCop. I don't know what it is about this movie. I maybe it's the fact that the gore is just so ridiculous and awesome. Maybe it's the fact that Clarence Boddicker is like my favorite villain of all time. You know, like as far as those kinds of movies go.
I think he makes the movie, man. He made that movie. Like
when he puts his what does he do? He puts his fingers in the guy's wine and snips his fingers. I'm like, that's the most bizarre like power move ever. He does all sorts of weird shit. He like takes his gum out and puts it on the secretary's nameplate and is like, maybe later you could fit me in.
Ooh, guns. Come on, Sal. The Tigers are playing tonight. Never miss a game.
Yeah. No, he's amazing. Kurtwood Smith, man, is there's something about his performance in that movie, and and that was definitely a movie I probably shouldn't have seen when it came out on VHS.
I remember. I shit you not. 1987. My parents go out on a date. We get babysat. They went to see RoboCop. My mom comes back. She goes, "Oh, that was the most violent thing I have ever seen."
And you're like, "Sweet, when can I watch it?"
Oh, me and my buddy watched it every Friday night when we were in like high school, public school. We would quote that movie. Like if we were talking to each other, we'd be like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, we got Matt puts up. This is one of the best ones. Bitches leave.
Oh yeah, that scene's great too. Where he takes it off with his teeth. He's just But
oh my god.
But when he's like, you probably don't think I'm a very nice guy, right? And he's like,
buddy, I think you're slime or whatever he says.
And you see, cops don't like me. I don't like cops. He's like everything's a game. You know what I mean? He's just so so malicious and sinister, but being funny at the same time.
When one of my favorite lines when they're in the car, like during the car chase scene, and they find out that the money's like all like burnt up or whatever, and he grabs the guy and he's like,
"The fucking money!"
Yeah, he's like, "Can you fly, Bobby?" Like that line right there, and like kicks the doors open and throws him on the cop car. That's one of my favorites there as well.
It's a great movie. A part of me is like, I watch it now. I like it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, I liked this a lot more when I was younger. Like I see things that don't hold up as well. You know what I mean?
Like what?
I think Peter Weller's gotten better over the years, personally, as an actor. You know what I mean? I think some things should have been fleshed out more a little with him. Like when he goes to the wife's house and everything, right? And I guess the sequel should have elaborated on that. Should have done.
They did a little bit, yeah.
Should have done a better job on that. But it's one of those action movies that's is a satire, full of one-liners. Product of its time, but at the same time, there's something to say there.
Yeah.
The guy who did the score too is the same guy who did Conan the Barbarian score.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Basil. I can't pronounce his last name, but
yeah. It's I love the score is great in that one. Yeah, that RoboCop score is so good, and yeah, Paul Verhoeven, he just has that way about him about making these movies that are so bombastic, and yeah, they've got that satirical edge. I mean, Starship Troopers. What he did, Total Recall as well.
You can't forget.
Plenty.
I love sexual thrillers, and Basic Instinct, my favorite.
There you go.
Right?
Did he do that one?
Yeah, he did. It's not a satire at all. It's a Hitchcock. Yeah. It's a Hitchcock style thriller. It's like Vertigo with this more sex.
Those 90s sex thrillers were that was like a whole thing. That was a whole movement.
Yeah, it's kind of I mean, they could show anything now, but some of what they put Sharon Stone through in that movie was like kind of like
sure.
She but she also played a good character. Like let's set aside the nudity.
Yeah.
She could undress you with her eyes. She seduces Michael Douglas just by looking at him, and that whole interrogation scene is just, she's incredible in that movie. Like, let's take the sex scenes aside, just her body language and the way she's manipulating and everything. It's just, I think she's great in that movie.
Yeah. Oh man, she's friggin' fantastic. Yeah, and the infamous beaver shot, of course, I think is what you're referencing there. Blink and you miss it. Tough to see on VHS, but it's there. Yeah, Erica, thank you so much for bringing that up. Yeah, guys, if you're watching,
thank you.
Hit that like button. Visit Jason's page, his channel down below in the description. I've got his Instagram down there as well, so make sure you show him some love if you're not already subbed down there. If you're watching after the fact, thank you so much, and jump on into the comments and let us know what your favorite 80s flicks are, your favorite action movies, and yeah, share the channel with somebody who you think would dig this kind of content. Oh, well, there we go. Dean, the Verhoeven talk from RoboCop to Total Recall. Dean brings that one up. Just barely skips the 80s by a smidge. Okay, well, fair enough.
90, yeah, but Total Recall is great story. I wasn't big on the remake. It was just kind of bland. Although I like the cast in the remake, but I don't know. Again, we got lovely Sharon Stone, one of my favorites.
Yeah,
and Arnold, and the cat fight is awesome in Total Recall.
Yeah,
Sharon Stone. I don't know the other girl's name. Her name escapes me, but thanks, Jamie. You're awesome. But yeah, it's a great movie. It's a great movie. This like of what's real and what's not, and how Arnold's got to sit through this mystery and everything, and great action film at the same time, over the top stuff in it too.
Oh yeah,
great makeup effects by Rob Bottin, who did RoboCop as well. I think he left did he leave RoboCop? I think Paul Verhoeven. I think he was bitter in that. I don't know what happened with
shoot,
Rob Bottin in that movie, but I think he did do the RoboCop shoot and everything like that, though.
But he also worked on The Thing. I mean, famously, right?
Yeah, and he won an Oscar for Total Recall.
And then in Total Recall, that's based on is that based on a Philip K. Dick story?
I think so. I think I want to say get your ass to Mars. I want to say that
because his stuff's really trippy too. His stories. And then what? You've got Michael Ironside in Total Recall. I mean,
yep.
Good old.
Yeah, he was supposed to be RoboCop, Michael Ironside. They had the suit. The suit was too wide. Like, he was too wide for the frame of the suit.
Oh, interesting.
Peter Weller. So Paul Verhoeven got him in Total Recall as the villain.
Yeah.
Visiting Hours is one everyone should watch. No one talks about it enough. Or Michael Ironside.
Visiting Hours, huh?
Is the villain. Yeah. You can watch it free on YouTube. Just search it.
Okay.
It's a great 1982 slasher movie. It was part of the video nasties back in the day.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if I can pull my book out.
A deranged, misogynistic killer assaults a journalist. When he discovers that she survived the attack, he follows her to the hospital to finish her off.
I highly recommend everyone get the Teenage Slasher movie book. Loads of information in here from the 1980s. Visiting Hours is in here somewhere, though, but this is a great book of all slasher movies that's from the 80s.
What's that one called?
It's called the Teenage Slasher Movie Book, written by J.A. Kurzweil.
Hell yeah, I've never even heard of that.
Oh, Davey, get it on Amazon. I think you can get it on Amazon. It's great.
I'm bringing up all of these. The Teenage Slasher book.
The Teenage Slasher.
There we go. Movie book. Okay, cool. $22. Boom. There it is. Yeah. So Total Recall was called "Sorry We Can Remember It for You Wholesale."
That's it. Cody. That's right.
He always had hilarious. The titles to his stories are great.
The thing was a short story called "Who Goes There."
Yeah.
Right. And it's from the 30s or something. It's old.
Yeah. Well, and then Blade Runner was. I think that's another Philip K. Dick that was called "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep" or something like that was the name of the title. So just very arts. Talk about A24 artsy fartsy with the titles, but I dig them. Anyone mention the Police Story movies? I haven't heard of the Police Story
Jackie
movies.
Chan ones.
Okay.
Honestly, I have to see those still. I haven't seen everything, guys, but the Police Story ones are supposed to be really good.
I think I've seen a couple of his that he made in Hong Kong, like Super Cop and all that, Rumble in the Bronx. But I have not seen the Police Stories. What's happening, Billy Judd? How are you doing? It's just We Remember It for You Wholesale. Oh, okay. Yeah. No worries, Cody. You're good, man. You're good. Oh, we got the Aaron Click bringing up the Road Warriors, a good 80s action movie. Good old classic Mad Max. Are you a Mad Max guy at all, Jason?
Honestly, that's what I'm going through. I saw the original Mad Max and I liked it. Mad Max 2 is one of the few movies that's talked about that I haven't seen.
All right.
I've seen Fury Road. I wasn't as big on it as everyone else, though. Because you call it Mad Max, but there's no Mad Max. He's just kind of silent.
I mean, it is one of the odd things about. Yeah, and I think the thing that's interesting about those Mad Max movies is aside from the first one, he is just sort of injected into the story. So you'll find that when you watch The Road Warrior and you watch Beyond Thunderdome, that he's part of it all.
I really like
so much
the original.
Else going on.
I really enjoyed the original. I watched it about a year ago. I was doing the 70s month and I was going to try and fit Mad Max and I just couldn't. I never ended up reviewing it, but I watched it. I watched the first one and I was like, I like this, man. It's character development. Yeah. It's kind of a exploitation movie from 1979. And his partner, the Goose, has a little arc too. He was really good. The bad guy was really good. Don't get me wrong. I do like Charlize Theron's in Mad Max Fury Road. And I haven't seen the latest one, the prequel. Is it a prequel to her character? Yeah. I still have to see that one, but it was one of those movies that really got hyped up. I think Mad Max Fury Road. I don't know. I thought it was good. It wasn't a 5-star film to me. I was like,
yeah. I think it was one of those things about it, finally coming back after all that time and just so many, practical stunts and everything like that. I certainly think there's plenty that's impressive with Fury Road. But yeah, I mean the Mad Max movie, especially that first one, is totally different than all the others. Now this is interesting. Eli brings up this movie that I love. This movie, it is so bad, but I love it. It's called The Miami Connection. Have you seen this?
I have not seen The Miami Connection.
Do you enjoy kind of movies that are so good or so bad they're good?
Yeah, depending on what it is. I do.
Are you a Mystery Science Theater 3000 fan?
I haven't seen that either. So
it's the TV show where they like the guy's stuck in space and he watches the bad movies with his like robot friends.
Oh no, I haven't seen that, but that sounds awesome. But I do like. I'm trying to think of some examples, like so bad that it's good. Like I know we have that in horror a lot, so
sure,
you know what I mean. But
yeah,
it really depends. It really depends how serious they're taking it. You know what I mean? Like or how it just depends.
So let me this is great. Let me just read you a synopsis that's on Letterboxd because I think it'll convince you to check this one out. Because this one's on Tubi. Guys, if you haven't seen The Miami Connection and you do enjoy So Bad It's Good, if you like stuff like The Room or, stuff like that. So the synopsis is, in a world where ninjas dream of being rock stars and rock stars dream of being ninjas, a martial arts rock band goes up against a band of motorcycle ninjas who have tightened their grip on Florida's narcotics trade. So
that's wild.
These guys are in a band. They also practice martial arts. They're all orphan children that like live in the same house as grown men. And they sing songs about like friendship and stuff like that. And this is one of those movies where like everyone knows how to use martial arts for some reason. Even the club owner knows how to use martial arts. And conflict takes about 2 seconds to get to a boiling point in Miami Connection. Highly recommended. From 1987, directed by Richard Park Woo-sang. Wow,
oh my goodness.
Miami Connection.
Wow, it's just when you've heard of it all. Of the 80s,
exactly.
You get one. Jamie, you're right. Pieces. That's a perfect example of So Bad It's Good. You're right. It's so bad, but it's great.
I've never seen Pieces, but I keep on.
Yeah, Davey, get on that one. I reviewed it quite some time ago. It's a wild ride, man.
It's okay. So that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of okay. I just wanted to make sure I was thinking of the right movie. Is this the one that has like the old lady mask? Oh no, wait. I'm thinking of something different.
No, this is the chainsaw dude.
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of a whodunit. It's kind of a whodunit.
Okay.
But some of the overacting it's got to be done on purpose. It's almost satirical. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like a little bit. Like I'm a big Reanimator fan, and sometimes I'm like, man, the overacting in this film is so perfectly pitched. Yeah,
I like that one too. That was decent.
Have a great night, Melanie. Thank you so much for kicking it with us here. Thank you for being
Melanie.
a channel member. And guys, if you haven't checked out Screen Queen Reviews, give Melanie's channel a chance as well. The acting is breathtaking, says Jamie on Pieces.
It's like have you seen Blood Rage?
I don't think so, no.
Blood Rage was one that was actually filmed in 82 but didn't get released in 87. It is so campy and so it starts off at these at a drive-in movie theater, and one of the kids, two brothers, they're twins, he gets out and starts chopping this couple up with an axe, and they send the wrong brother to a mental institute. So it's kind of like this Man in the Iron Mask thing, where the bad brother, the good brother comes back, and there's this, but the kills are so campy and so hilarious though.
I'll have to check that one out. I think I saw a review of that one recently. Ted Raimi's debut, huh? What about have you seen Intruder? That movie, a slasher that takes place in the supermarket.
Yeah, I wasn't big on it. You just reminded me. I did a top 30 slashers of the 80s ranking quite some time ago, and I didn't want to fill it full of Nightmare and Friday the 13th. So I went and watched all these movies, and I kind of did this ranking, and if it didn't make it, it didn't make it. But yeah, I watched a lot of them in a month or so like that. And yeah, I don't know, it was very forgettable to me. And I could see the killer coming a mile away. I was like, they don't all land, right? They don't all. House on Sorority Row is quite good. I like that one.
It does. So Intruder does have, now that we're talking about So Bad It's Good, there is one of those performers. I can't remember the actor's name, but he is like, it's so, I can't tell if he's like fucking with everyone with his performance or if he's actually trying.
There's
Did
some,
we?
there's some good ones though. There's some good 80s slashers, and there's ones that, okay, that was that.
Yeah, even like Slumber Party Massacre. I kind of dig that one. That's one of those
It's
that's
fun.
just sort of like you wouldn't think much of it, but then you watch it and you're like, this is great. And then the sequel, which I don't really like very much, but I mean, again, kind of So Bad It's Good, or it's like intentionally trying to be a joke, you know?
Yeah.
Aaron's got a question for you. Have you seen I Saw the TV Glow? I think that came out last year.
I actually have the Blu-ray still all wrapped up in my I just haven't watched it yet. People have said good things. I don't know why I bought it. I heard a lot of good things about it, so hopefully I'm trying to cut down on my physical media as far as Blu-rays and everything. So I'm actually going to be going through all my collection, getting rid of a lot of stuff, because I do buy a lot of things digitally now.
Oh, okay.
Just because of room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even some of my VHS tapes, I bought them at a lot, and a lot of them I don't watch. Like, I got a lot of, like, I'm going to keep all my horror and all my action and all the good ones, but I just running out of room.
Yeah.
But, and so I do have I Saw the TV Glow, but if I don't like it, or if it's only a one-time watch, I'd likely just pawn it off. But
yeah,
I'll give it a watch.
I heard mixed things about it. I heard some people that I knew really dug it, and then other people said it was kind of up its own ass a bit. What's happening, Jamie Hill? How you doing
Jamie.
this evening? Hope you're having a great night. We are talking, well, we're kind of all over the place now, but we're mostly talking 80s action movies. But, here's a great one. Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh.
I mean...
I watch it every year, sometimes twice a year. That's...
Yeah.
I love the
sequel... I really dig the sequel too, directed by, I think Tony Scott did that first sequel.
Yeah. The last one was not bad either, man. I liked it.
I
had a lot of fun with it.
Yes, I was like, man, this Axel F movie is way better than it has any right being. And Eddie felt like Axel. Like, it really didn't feel phoned in. There was like, he had like the energy back, and I thought it was pretty damn good.
It's really funny about 80s movies. Like, it's funny because before we were doing this stream this week, I was thinking about this movie. I don't know if I was thinking of preparing for a question you had for me, but it's how do you get the audience to care about a character, right? In Beverly Hills Cop, you don't have a lot of time between these two buddies, but his buddy gets killed. So they're at the bar. They're at the bar and they're telling that story, and he's laughing. He's they're drinking. He goes, "Remember you stole that fucking car going down the fucking freeway?" And then Eddie Murphy's like, "Oh," and he goes, "Hey, why didn't you tell on us?" And he goes, "I love you, man." Now you're invested.
Yeah.
You're invested in that one little scene, and it's like, how do people with all these movies can't do that? I'm not saying it's an 80s thing. I'm just saying that movie has energy. It's it's got a lot of great comedies. There's only a couple of action sequences, really. But it's that you're invested from that point on, right? Like how this Eddie Murphy became this cop. He was almost down a road of going to jail and everything like that with this guy.
Sure,
they were best friends, and he's out of jail now, and he gets killed. But there's that moment in that bar I really like, where they're spending natural time with two buddies. Yeah, he's not a cop; he's just his friend, and they're out there, just getting drunk and shit faced. And
there's something so effortless about like just how charming Eddie Murphy was back then. It's like, I think that's another. It's the writing that really, really helps, but also just his performance is so believable there. And Beverly Hills Cop, that is the strip
club scene, man, it's just hilarious, man. Like, just love that scene. Yeah,
there's I mean, and you've got what's his face? Gosh, why can't I think of the actor's name? The guy, he was in RoboCop. He plays Dick Jones in RoboCop. What's
Oh,
that
that's
actor's name?
Ronnie Cox, I think.
Ronnie Cox. And I love seeing him play like a good guy. I mean, he's a total hard ass and everything, but it's nice to see him play a good guy because it seems like I have so many memories of seeing him be a villain in RoboCop that it's refreshing. Yeah.
And the blonde lady too, who plays Jenny, his friend. Like,
oh yeah.
They had some pretty good chemistry too.
Yeah, there's something about like the way Eddie Murphy played that role. He just, every place he waltzed into, he just like owned it.
Yeah, he was born to play a character. I mean,
yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Let's see here. We got a little love for Cobra from Aaron Click here.
I love me some Cobra. This is where the law stops and I stop.
Good old Cobra, that actor that ended up playing Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat, he's a huge beastly bulging man, as I would say. Sly eating pizza with scissors. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I did that for my review. I did this skit where you can hear the TV going from Cobra, and I come in with my shades. I cut the scissors off the pizza, and I started. And then, I had this idea of doing all these skits. I did the Alphabet Action Movie Challenge. Oh, I can't remember what it was, guys. Where every day it was a different letter for an action movie. So C was Cobra, and I did all these little skits for the beginning of it. My audience would, like, Tim knows, I got a lot of praise for them, but I come down here when I'm recording, and I go, okay, how this would be kind of fun. Let me do this, right? And I have the old 80s shades on.
That Cobra is a friggin' blast.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what else we got. Jamie Hill says action movie I love Indiana Jones the most. What's your favorite? What, two of them were done were they all done in the 80s? Was Last Crusade 89?
89, yep.
Sorry, I just always think of those as the only ones because they're the only ones that matter. I'm a Last Crusade guy. What about you?
Temple of Doom all day, baby. My favorite adventure movie of all time. As far as like that treasure hunter adventure, I love Temple of Doom. Maybe the darkness of it. Maybe that's why I like it.
It is, yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I think for the most part, all Indiana Jones villains are not memorable. Like, I couldn't tell you who the villains were, but I could tell you who the villain was in Temple of Doom. Mola Ram, because he stood out to me. And he rips the guy's heart out, and he's like, and he's cackling. But it just goes from one action set piece to the next. And you got Short Round in there. I love Short Round. It was just a great chemistry. The mine cart, the Donkey Kong chase there. I was going to bring that
up. Yeah, that's a really good one there. And really dark stuff with what's going on with the kids. I mean, it's pretty depressing stuff. Grossed me out as a kid. That's for sure. Eating the bugs and the monkey brain and everything like that.
I will say Raiders is the better movie, though. If we're talking better, like some of the shots in Raiders, Karen Allen is great in it.
Mm-hmm.
That when Karen Allen sees Indiana Jones come to her bar and his shadow is on the wall.
Oh, yep.
A great shot, right? The opening's iconic, but I just always. If I'm going to pick an Indiana Jones movie, it's always Temple of Doom. It's always nostalgia, probably too. That was the first one I ever saw. Yeah,
that probably the first one I saw as well. I don't know. There's something about like Last Crusade. I love it. I love I mean, that final act is amazing. Going through all the booby traps and everything. I love having Sean Connery in there. I mean, there's something about and it really is a story that like takes them all over the world, which I think is pretty cool too. Because I don't know if the other ones there's that much travel. Well, I guess Temple of Doom at the beginning there's travel, but like once they're there, they're kind of there, right?
Yeah, it's. I think it's a great trilogy if you ignore the other two. I did not like the last one at all. I was like, I don't like the way they treated certain characters, and you know what? I love the director. He's one of my favorite directors. James Mangold.
Yeah.
Mangold. I love him. What he did with
he's really good.
Ford v Ferrari and Logan, and he's done so many great Copland. He's done so many great movies, right? So I was surprised. I'm like, what is this studio interference? What is this? Because I just didn't like the. I mean, this character should not be taken serious. Like to see him in this depressed state is just kind of like, what are we doing here? Like,
yeah.
And the girl comes along. They missed a great opportunity. If the girl was replaced by like, Short Round, if Short Round came back, or if she was in it, and when she started, almost talking down to Indiana Jones, and he'd be like, "Hey, lady, you call him Dr. Jones." That would have been Tell me that wouldn't have been awesome. Like that would have been.
No, it would have been great. Yeah.
It's missed opportunity, man. Like just
it is that last one was the thing that's crazy about that last one is it made the other movie look. What's the fourth one called? I can't even remember. This was so bad.
The Crystal Skull, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, it makes that one look like it belongs with the other three. One of the things that like I just really didn't understand about Dial of Destiny, like why did they take Indiana Jones like back in time with them on the plane? Why don't they just kill him? Like the only reason why Indiana Jones gets put on that plane before they go to time travel is for the audience.
I don't understand why they didn't do the Back to the Future thing. Like the girl knocks him out. I thought she was going to take him to a time where his son was back, and like,
there you go.
They couldn't get the actor.
Yeah,
obviously, but you could have just said, okay, this is what's his name?
Mutt or whatever.
Mutt, and then because Karen Allen comes back, is taking care of him, but there was no reason for it. You know what I mean? I go, that would have been a great time to bring his son back, and because that's what it was all leading to. I don't know. I just didn't. I guess I was overthinking it. Maybe I don't know.
I thought they were going to do something like that too. I thought they were going to drop him in a time that was like just a little nicer for him, But here we go. Antonis loved Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Well, I would say it's the fourth best. it's better than Dial of Destiny. What the hell was that? There were a couple moments in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I like the like that motorcycle chase scene. I dug that. Not so much it wasn't all bad. It's just I didn't like the alien card. I'm just like, it's just Spielberg. Why didn't you go with the Lost City of Atlantis or something like that? Like, that would have been really cool. They go alien in part 4, and then in part 5 we do time travel. It just seems like it sort of got a little bit away.
It got a little bit away from the artifacts. They always wanted to do the Lost City of Atlantis. I'm like, man, like that'd be great for an Indiana Jones film.
Yeah. And even like they're all sort of tied to like religion in a sense, like the first 3 movies. Yeah. So that's another thing that they sort of lost is they didn't try to tie it into some sort of like religious or like ritualistic kind of belief.
Right.
Which is something they definitely should have tapped into for those. Who knows? We may never see Indiana Jones ever again. What the hell are they going to do? Reboot it and put Chris Pratt in it just because?
No, Chris Pratt's just that's the logical.
He's too old now.
The logical choice. I think Hugh Jackman would make a good one. Like maybe if he was younger now.
Yeah.
Just think of his he can play comedy well too. So like, he can do kind of. I always thought he'd be a good choice but he's kind of getting up in there in years now too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's in his 60s, I think.
Hey, like my channel, Backtrack Cinema, man. Let's keep him in the backtrack. Let's keep him in the past and remember those movies and keep celebrating them every year. That's what you got to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Aaron makes a good point here. The second one had, melting faces in the first one, pulling a heart out in the second one. they have been over the top for sure. I guess there were just story things and the time travel. Like to me, time traveling sort of and the aliens sort of goes one step beyond. I think where I was ready to be with Indiana Jones. But I think you make a great point, Aaron. And certainly, even in the third movie, you've got like the Holy Grail actually healing, Sean Connery's wounds. So that's like
I think
that's magic as well.
I think you had a Goonies comment somewhere.
Oh, there was. Yeah, I think I think Jamie Hill had brought it up, and then Paula Fitzhenry brought it back here. Love the Goonies. Is that considered action?
Adventure. Anyways,
adventure for sure. Yeah, that's another great Richard Donner flick.
It's one that I've fallen out of love with, I go, in a sense, because I watched that as a kid, but I haven't watched it in so long. But hot take, I'm a Monster Squad guy over Goonies.
Oh shit, I love Monster Squad.
Right, and yeah. I just think, I mean, the Monster Squad, they saved the world. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I liked the Goonies and everything when I was a kid, but I definitely watched the Monster Squad more. I rented that like once or twice a year.
Yeah, me too. I do like the Goonies though. I remember being at a Walmart and the $5 bin one time, and this couple he wanted the Goonies, and she goes, "I am not watching the fucking Goonies." It's iconic though. It's iconic,
yeah.
And the Goonies is definitely one I definitely got to rewatch. I got to rewatch that one because it's one of those ones I just haven't seen in so long. But the Monster Squad I've watched recently, at least recent enough. I showed it to my kids and they kind of got a kick out of it.
Yeah, that movie every year for me. That's a must watch during spooky season every year.
Yeah, it's a blast, and the guy who played Dracula was fantastic.
Like,
he was so good.
Yeah, they've got. The monster design is so good. Is that Stan Winston that worked on that one?
I'm not sure, but I think so. But I think the Wolfman was good too in it. The Wolfman changing and the whole third act in the Gremlins town, in the back lot there, where they film everything. That was really good. That was really good.
Timothy says, speaking of so bad it's good, Howard the Duck. Come on, you've all seen it, even if you won't admit it.
I saw it countless of times when I was a kid, but
yeah,
I'm scared to revisit that one because I'm just like, what is this? Is this gonna really is it gonna this is not gonna age well? I haven't watched it in years though, in years, but it was wacky. That's what I remember.
Really wacky. There's like duck boobs at the beginning. So bizarre. Like, what are we watching? Like, what is this? And Timothy says Monster Squad doesn't hold a candle to the Goonies. But he calls them Goonies. So maybe is it Goonies or Goonies?
Goonies.
I don't know. I think it definitely holds a candle to it for sure.
I think it depends. You know what? It depends how much of a horror fan you are. I think that's what it comes down to.
Sure.
I was a big horror fan as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I still like the Monster Squad. Where I don't have much desire to return to the Goonies. I don't even know why. To be honest with you, it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's not as bad as I loved the Goonies as a kid, but maybe. Is it still that good? You guys have to all let me know. I don't know. You know what? That was 1985. That's 1985, right? Yeah,
I think so.
It's 1985.
85 or 86, yeah.
I have a big, near the end of the year, I'm doing 2 months of just 1985 movies, so.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth revisiting. Richard Donner makes a good-looking picture. There's really good performances by, great actors, at least... Feldman was in his heyday then. You got a young Josh Brolin in there.
That's why he couldn't do Friday the 13th Part 5.
Oh, because he did Goonies?
Yeah, he was too busy. He was too tied up with the Goonies. That's why he's only in the intro.
Yeah. Well, he probably made the right call on that one. They made it work with part 5. Part 5 is fun. Yeah, Jamie, I don't think anyone had mentioned 48 Hours.
My mom loved that one, Jamie. My mom was a big 48 Hours fan, from what I remember. You know, Walter Hill, buddy cop stuff. He has those elements in all his movies. Walter Hill does, for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm sure I saw it when I was a kid. I don't think I've ever revisited it though.
Yeah, there's a lot. I've been revisiting a lot from the 80s. I just saw The Stuff. I did a review of The Stuff not that long ago, and I thought this is a terrible movie. Like
I've never seen that one.
I don't get why it's considered this horror classic. And I'm like, this is a terrible movie. But
well, that's how it is in horror. You know, we kind of celebrate everything regardless of the quality. It's just, hey, it's there. You know.
Yeah.
We got Fachi jumping in. What's happening, Matt? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great stream with Mel. Matt says the Monster Squad is my childhood and the Goonies is absolutely fantastic. So there you go. There's room for both, right? Room for both. Well, shit. Here we're coming up on 2 hours, so this might be a good time to sort of wrap things up. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Tango and Cash. Yes, that one did get brought up earlier. We just never made our way back to it.
It's a great flick. I remember seeing it in the theaters. Ever since Over the Top, I've seen every Stallone movie in the theater except Rambo 3 because it was too violent at the time and I couldn't get into that one. But Tango and Cash I have great memories with going to see that. Great camaraderie between Russell and Stallone, and Terry Hatcher is hot as fuck in that movie.
Yes. Yes. We got Frankie D jumping in. Welcome into the chat. I think this is your first time here. It says I'm newish here. Hope all are well. As a kid growing up in the 80s, there's too many films that I hold in high regard to mention. 80s action adventure comedy. Crocodile Dundee 1 and 2 are fun.
Fun movies, man.
And then you've got your cool Stripe logo there hanging out in the theater. I like both of those Gremlins movies.
Yeah, Gremlins is pretty fun. I'm more of a Critters fan, to be honest, but
and Critters that's the one with is that the one where they've got the guys that come from outer space and
the bounty hunters.
And they dress up as like the rock stars, or they imitate the rock stars.
They can change their face, and anybody.
Yeah.
They can change what their face looks like, and they blow the shit out of the town and the church and their house, and going after these little crazy bastards, these little critters. I love it. D. Wallace.
Yeah. Yeah. D. Wallace. Perfect. Have a great night, Chester. Thank you so much for kicking it with us. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, Gremlins and Critters. Yeah, I think the little kid from Critters, doesn't he voice the son in American Dad? I think he became a voice actor.
Oh, did he? Did he really?
Little redhead kid.
I've seen him in he was in Mystery Alaska as one of the hockey players.
Okay. And then he was in that when Seth MacFarlane did that like Star Trek parody show. I think he was in that as well.
Okay.
His name is like Scotty something. I can't think of it right now. Hey, we got a start bench cut here. Have you played start bench cut? It's kind of like Fuck, Marry, Kill. It's just the nicer version. Yep. All right. So Gremlins, Critters, Ghoulies. Go for it.
Cut Ghoulies. That means I'm getting rid of... Yeah, I'm killing that one, right?
Yeah.
Bench would be what? Keeping it? Is that the idea?
Yeah, bench is just like, it's like a sports thing. So it's like cutting them from the team, putting them on the bench, or putting them out there to start the game.
Oh, Critters would be start. Gremlins would be bench.
Yeah, and I think I would just do them in the order that you have it there, Aaron. I would start Gremlins, bench Critters, and cut Ghoulies. But I do really like Critters. I think it's a lot of fun. That was one of those movies I watched and didn't expect much from it. I used to see them in the video store as a kid, but I never watched them. I would just see the boxes, and then I watched it as an adult, and I was like, well, that was way more fun.
I love B movie, sci-fi horror.
Yeah,
I just showed my wife the other night, Sunday night. We watched Night of the Creeps.
Nice.
She goes, that was fun, but it was terrible. I go, terrible? That was fucking. I love that movie. And I go, I still love it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of like a kind of a throwback to like the Roger Corman days, you know.
Yeah. I just love Tom Atkins in that movie.
Oh, I'll take all the Atkins you got. That stash, right. That back.
Yeah, he's the Chuck Norris of horror.
And he's got that death in is it Lethal Weapon, the eggnog where he's holding the eggnog
death, yeah.
It's just like so goofy, but there's something so, I don't know, there's something so classic about it.
Oh my god, Jamie, I'm so jealous of you, of all the movies you got to see on the big screen.
She saw every single one.
Like, how do you see that movie on the big? Oh man,
she saw like... So last week we were doing a stream, and she lives in a small town, remote, but she saw Troll 2 in the theater.
Oh wow.
And I don't know if Troll 2 is so bad it's good. I think it's just so bad it's entertaining at times.
I was 7 when Night of the Creeps come out, so I watched all this stuff when it came to video, or it was on TV. Like that's why I fell in love with Return of the Living Dead and Night of the Creeps. And I saw Critters 2 in the theater though. I do remember that.
Yeah, it's my hometown. I grew up in Juneau, Alaska. There were 4 screens in my hometown when I grew up, and only 2 of them were near my house. The other 2 were about 12 miles away, so I would have to beg for a ride to go down there.
We went to the movies a lot, but when I moved from the country to where I live now, I live in a place called Oshawa. It's kind of like it used to be like an auto town, like Detroit, you'd say, like mini Detroit. We had GM here at one point and everything. But anyways, I went to the movies so much when I moved here when I was younger, when I was single. I was going like twice a week.
Yeah.
Right? But I went a lot as a kid. You know, my dad would always take me. I got good memories of watching Police Academy 4, Masters of the Universe I saw in the theater.
Oh, nice.
Lundgren. Obviously Ninja Turtles we were talking about. But I missed the boat because I was born in 1979, so Friday the 13th, all that kind of stuff, never got to see it on the big screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the first first Halloween movie I saw in the theater was H2O, because Curse of Michael Myers didn't come to my hometown. I'm trying to think of what my first like horror movie was in the theater. That's a tough one. It might be like Scream 2 might have been my first like horror, like, quote unquote new horror movie.
Yeah. Man, I think for me, I didn't see Scream in the theater. See, I didn't see horror movies in the theater until I was a little older. Like probably late 90s. Like when I was almost 20, right? Then I saw everything from that point on. But like I saw, like I would go like with my parents. Like I remember Batman being huge, going to see Batman.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I saw it opening night. And so that was a big thing, right?
Yep.
But it's a lot of, there's so many great memories of going to the movies. I don't get the chance to go as often as I would like, to be honest with you. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
Well, it's so expensive now, and yeah, it's a little bit different. But yeah, Batman '89, that was one of my best memories going to the theater as a kid. My older sister took me. She got me a vanilla Charleston chew and a tube of Sweet Tarts, and those 2 candies were some of my favorites forever. And man, we bought that when it came out on VHS. I watched that movie every friggin' day.
Yeah, we
months.
My first movie was my first movie technically was Popeye in 1980. Like, so I was like just a baby. My dad took a bunch of my cousins, and I don't remember it or nothing. But the first one I remember was Return of the Jedi. Like 4 years old. So
that's a good memory right there.
Yeah.
That must have been a blast. Yeah, I was 1 when that movie came out. My first Star Wars experience in the theater was the special editions, which whatever, they were fun for the time. Night of the Comet, I really dig that one. That one's
Yeah,
pretty fun.
I only saw it once. I watched it last year, and I dug it. I thought the sister was hilarious. I love the sister in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty good. It's B movie stuff, but in a good way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good little tongue-in-cheek kind of, a little, almost like a B movie version of like a Romero zombie film. Timothy wants us to start bench cut Rambo, Beverly Hills Cop, and Back to the Future.
Ooh,
that's tough.
Jeez. That's tough. Okay, I'm gonna start Rambo. I'm gonna bench Back to the Future. I'm gonna cut Beverly Hills Cop. Unfortunately, it's that third movie in Beverly Hills Cop, which is not the greatest, but it's okay. But I don't know, Tim. I love Rambo. And Back to the Future, honestly, I like the trilogy, but I always just watch the first one. I just watch the first one.
First one's the best one. Yeah.
And it's easily the best one.
Yeah, I'd probably I'll start Back to the Future, bench Rambo, cut Beverly Hills Cop. Let's see here. Jamie saw the original Star Wars in the theater. Jeez, it's just the jealousy is growing, Jamie. The envy.
That'd be amazing.
Well, shoot. Here we are. We're at 2 hours here, Jason. It's been a blast chatting with you. Just diving into, the classic quintessential 80s action flicks and chatting with everybody hanging out here in the chat as well. What do you have? You're covering Arnold this month. So what do you have coming up next on the docket for your channel?
Well, I'm also doing Friday the 13th reviews every Friday. I got Friday the 13th Part 4 this Friday.
Ooh.
I just started, when I first started the channel, I did number 1 and 2, and I got sidetracked, and so I want to lead up to June 13th, so I'm trying to get them all done. But I've got a big recording session this weekend, hopefully, and so you're probably going to see a Conan review, a T2 review, and a Kindergarten Cop review coming up this month. If I can do any more past that, I will. And what else? I'm on Flet's movie pop culture with Kyle. He's asked me to be his guest on all his Rocky watch parties. So every Saturday we're doing those. So I'll be on his channel for Rocky 2 this Saturday and Friday night with him and Splattercast. We're doing 70s action movies. So I'm guesting a lot this April. And then May, I'm bringing my own show. Time to get back down here and give you guys some more entertainment live. I seriously need to reconnect with my audience again. It's been too long. So that's going to be... And I got a Superman watch party series coming up. So that's leading up to the new Superman, which is my most anticipated movie of this year. And I'm going to be doing a Predator watch party series later on this year, leading up to Badlands. So... There's some little snippets there coming up. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to jumping in and watching, Friday the 13th with you. I'll be doing, just like the week before, I'll be on Fachi's channel where we're going to be doing like a review of it, the good, the bad, the judgment episode on that first movie. So I'm going to be knees deep in Friday the 13th, 1980. There for about a week or so. I'm looking forward to it. Hell yeah.
Yeah, well, it's the 45th anniversary. So I'm trying to do an Empire Strikes Back watch party that month too, because it'll be the 45th anniversary for that. So I'm trying to do the anniversaries with the watch alongs, and then I'm trying to prep for the Superman. Gonna try and decorate the background here with some Superman stuff if I can. So there's a lot of good stuff coming up, guys. I'm very prepared. I actually planned my whole year out on YouTube in December, so I have a roadmap of where I'm going.
God, I need to get on that. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. It seems like half the time. There was a bit there where I had quite a bit planned, and then oh my gosh, I don't know what happened. I teetered right off.
It happens. It happens. I mean, I haven't been live since November on my channel, so I just want to connect with my audience, give them some good watch parties this summer, and hopefully I can get some heat running down here. Hopefully I can get a nice space heater or put some more wall sockets in, and we can get something going in the winter for everyone, because I don't want to stay away that long again. It's my personality sometimes. Sometimes I get anxiety going live. I was starting to get like, I wasn't panicking. It was just like, I'm not feeling myself, and I don't want to do that to my audience. I want to be right into it like I am now. So so
absolutely.
But you'll always get pre-recorded from me, always. So I'm very consistent.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, links are in the description below, so make sure you check out Backtrack Cinema if you haven't already. You can also follow him on Instagram. That link is also in the description. I will be back on Friday night. I'm going to be doing a watch party, a Dawn of the Dead watch party with my buddy Brian McPherson. You guys might remember that I did an interview with Brian before he put out a record about a year ago or so. And he's dropping a brand new song tomorrow called American Glory. So we're going to talk about that song a little bit. He's a huge Dawn of the Dead fan, so we're going to watch that original 78, 79. The timeline on Dawn of the Dead gets confusing because technically it came out in 78 but didn't release in the States until 79. So we're going to be watching that one on Friday, and then I'll be back next week with more streams and all sorts of fun stuff. So thank you so much again, Jason. It's been an absolute blast. I'm looking forward to hanging with you here in a couple weeks. You guys have been amazing in the chat tonight, keeping everything lively. Really appreciate you guys so much. That is going to wrap it up for us tonight. So right there, that's been Jason from Backtrack Cinema, and I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.